Hi, I'm Naomi Butler with the Naomi Butler Show. And as most of you that have been following my journey, I try to bring up some topics that I think will help others. Today, I'm talking about feeling like you're in limbo. And this is something we cancer patients deal with a lot. And today I put on a little makeup. I wanted to make myself feel like I look better, which has been many months since I've put makeup on. But I always kind of start feeling better the beginning of that third week after chemo. And so I feel a little better today, which is a good thing, but I'm always tired. It's always the situation. And anyone dealing with cancer feels like they're in limbo. We're worried, we have fears, stress, we're always waiting for something good to happen, good results to see if the treatments are working. And having cancer makes you appreciate life a whole lot more than maybe you normally would. It changes you in so many ways. And you realize that time is really precious. You think about those what ifs. There's a lot of those what ifs and a whole lot more than you normally would. I think about what God's purpose is for me in this journey. And I feel like it's always been to share my journey to help others and to also let you know that He's right there with me. He's walking by my side. He's carrying me when I can't walk. He's right there with me, helping me every step of the way. And I'm just giving God the glory through all of this continually. We all want to just get back to our previous normal, but that may not happen. It might for some and it might not for others. So far, it hasn't happened that way for me. We're in a new normal, and we just need to continue living our lives as best as we can each day while we're waiting for things to get better. We just, it's like, what do we do about it? We ask ourselves, what do we do? And we just want to live as normal a life every day that we can. One thing that has always helped me is being grateful, having something to be grateful for each day. And if you watch my previous video, it's part 14, you'll see a lot more of my mottos that I use. Some people have surgery where they remove all of the cancer. Some have to deal with chemo, some deal with radiation, some deal with chemo and radiation, and so even other treatments. Every cancer is different. So don't let this all scare you. Just know that not everybody deals with extreme situations. And we may have treatments, pain, lack of sleep, etc. get in the way, but just do the best we can every day. It may help us think more positive about our situation. Sometimes if we make dietary changes, that may help us feel like we're doing better, and it may really make a difference. Any positives can just help us on its own. Cancer anniversaries, or sometimes they call them cancerversaries, reminds us of what we've gone through. And some people think that's a bad thing, but I think it can be a good thing because you're still here. You get to celebrate that day. And I know fear of recurrence is real and normal, and those constant monitoring with scans that they do brings on that feeling of being in limbo, waiting for good results. And in between good scans, you get more confident because you're getting good scans and things are going well, and until that next scan, and then you have more anxiety. I had more anxiety this time, the second time around, naturally, but just trying to live each day as best as I can and as normal as I can. When we hear it's not curable, which is my case right now, we're human and we have more fears. And just so you know, though, it's not always fatal, no matter what they tell you. I see posts about people saying, oh, they gave me a few months and they lived for years. So it's not always fatal. And so don't look at someone that has cancer as, oh, they're going to die soon. That's not always the case. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. But it's just something you have to continue to deal with. And I think one thing I want to say is I'm trying to live with it, not die from it. And that not knowing if treatments are working is a huge stress on its own. I have a scan next Monday after the 4 treatments of chemo that I've gone through, and I'll find out the results Wednesday afternoon. And with this second diagnosis of it spreading to my left lung and having no other options, the chemo was giving me a 50% chance of it shrinking or slowing it down. And that can sound very scary knowing it's not curable, but again, I'm claiming God's victory in all of this. And you have to realize that our families' lives are on hold while we wait for results, and it's tough on them too. Remember your family, they're having it tough too. And we're always waiting on something. We're waiting on a lot of things. We're waiting on doctor appointments, lab appointments, scans, for scan results to be good, to feel better, for pain to go away, for chemo fog to get better, for those mouth and throat sores and ulcers to go away when you have head and neck cancer radiation, for fatigue to go away, which is a huge one, for strength sometimes just to get out of bed, for those meds to work or get other meds that you may have to have. And a big one is just to get some sleep. That's a big one for me. And for food to taste good, to feel like eating sometimes. Mary had to play a game with me a couple years ago because I didn't feel like eating, and I was drinking that Boost VHC just to get calories in me. And so my daughter Mary played a game with me just to get me some calories that I had to get in me. So sometimes you just don't feel like eating. You're waiting for anxiety to go away. You're waiting for treatments to work. You're waiting to not have reactions with treatments. Waiting for reasons to smile, to feel good today, to not be dizzy, to not be nauseous, to not get sick or get COVID. One big one is I'm waiting for them to find a cure for cancer. A cure. There's got to be a cure. And we're waiting for good white blood cells and red blood cell counts. We're sometimes waiting on those shots or infusions to make those counts get better. And for doctors to really listen to you. I had to deal with that recently, and I got my doctor to really listen to me and made me feel better. Again, to not be so tired all the time. I think that's the biggest one for me, is the fatigue. To go back to some kind of previous normal. And there's so many more things that we are always waiting on. It's tough. Stay in touch with your family and friends, your support group. That really, really helps. And it also helps you to help others dealing with something similar, whether it's cancer or something else. When you go through tough times in your life, it helps you to help others. And so even with instead of just thinking about yourself. So one thing I did, I set up my YouTube channel and I post the cancer videos to a lot of cancer Facebook groups, which right now it's currently over 200,000 people dealing with cancer, and there's a lot more people dealing with cancer. But these are just some of the Facebook groups that I'm able to find that work to post, and so I'm able to give them some kind of encouragement, and have had so many good comments come back, because it can be such a negative to have cancer, but I'm trying to bring a positive to as many as I can dealing with cancer. And you may be one of those that can crochet head coverings or make a blanket or cook for someone, but just doing something for someone else. We can all help in some way. And the main thing, though, is to take time to take care of you. Rest. Do something fun. Make being in limbo fun. Do you remember the limbo dance? You may not be able to do that, but maybe just dance like no one's watching. So don't let that feeling like you're in limbo pull you down. Just find something fun to do. I hope this has been encouraging and helpful to you. And if it has, subscribe, like, make comments. I'm here to help in any way I can. And until the next video, I'm wishing you the best. Take time to take care of you. Thank you so much.